All right, what's up everyone? Welcome back for another video. Thanks for joining me. All right, so I got you in a different spot today, but getting into today's video, as you saw in the little clip that you just saw, installing Raptor lights on the ZR2. Got the lights right here, Amazon, and we're going to be using these little antifuse things right here. So let's get into it. So it's 37 degrees out today, but there's very little wind, so it doesn't seem that cold. I know I look like I'm bundled up, but it's really not that bad. So I'm gonna I don't think the truck fits in the garage anymore since we put the rack on it and we put the larger wheels and tires on it. If you haven't seen those videos, go check them out. I'll link both of them up there. New wheels and tires on the truck and installing the Prince 2 rack. I actually have a playlist on that, so I'll link the playlist up there. So I'm gonna do my best to link everything that I use in this video in the description with Amazon links. I just became an affiliate, so if you use any of those links, if you're gonna purchase any of these things, I appreciate it if you use those links because it helps me out a little bit and it helps me continue to be able to make videos like this. So please, if you're gonna buy anything, please use my link. Love you. Thank you. So like I showed you before, these are lights that came in a 10-pack, and these are the antifuses. This also came in a 10-pack. You're better off buying these in bulk. Isn't a bad idea because you could always add more items to your car for different various reasons, especially if you got project cars that you're always working on and whatnot. So not a bad thing to have. Makes it easier to get power, especially if you want some like auxiliary lights that you're going to be installing. Once again, with these, the 10-pack, you might think it's a little unnecessary, but you're getting a 10-pack of them, and it was about just under $11, so you know, just over $1 a piece. And then you also have these that you could wire in other spots if you ever want to. If you want to add them to a different car, add them for something else. You'll always have these to go. I've been thinking about maybe, depending how bright these are, I don't know how bright they are yet. I was also thinking of maybe putting some of these like on the bed rack underside, so then when I hit the lights on the inside, it just has a little more illumination back there, especially when we have the tent on the rack. It's like a big covering, so it's kind of sometimes a little extra dark at night, so probably help a little bit. Put some timestamps down in the description. If you want to skip to different parts of the video, go right ahead. But I'm going to talk about a couple different ways to mount these lights on the truck. It's all basically going to start with doing the painstaking task of taking this damn bumper off. So as you saw, the bumper's off. My wife actually held it at the last minute so it didn't fall on my head while I was taking the last one out that I forgot, because there's about 300 of these little like screw things that you have to take off. It's a T15 Torx. I'll just show you, hold on. So this is all the ones that are basically on the passenger side of the car. This is all the ones that are on the driver's side of the car. Those are from the skid plates. Those were holding the bumper on. Up here, you got to peel the wheel liner back to unscrew it from there, and then a bunch more up here that we're holding it in across the top here. I'll show you on the bumper, but there are a couple things that hold it in there. That's kind of a pain to get to, and then these things, I guess, line it up and hold it in while you get all your bolts in. But so this is that one thing that I was saying about lining it up. So that top clip, you just got to basically get it with pliers to unseat it and then pry it off from the front. And then this is the bracket from that other thing I was talking about. So those other weird metal brackets that kind of hold it in, it's in a weird position. It's not straight in. It's not straight in from the front of the truck, which would make it a lot easier, but you kind of have to go up and in to get them out. It's a 10 millimeter, so this is what I had to do. This is what I had to do with what I had. So if it's just by itself, it's too floppy. So I actually put some tape on it to kind of hold it in position. So when you go up, you're at it, and then you just kind of have to put pressure on it as you're turning it. Well, it would be turning this way to keep it in place to take that bolt out. So, I mean, you'll figure it out as you go. I think you can, if you get the sides of the bumper out, I think you can peel it back and get your arm in there to do it, but it's kind of painful. So I'll go through the front with something like this. While the front is off, I might take these take these off and touch them up with some paint because I just see some rock chips took away a lot of the red. All right, back in the garage with the bumper. Now if you look here, not there, here, there's the light. All right, so what I've seen is sit it in here like this, and then you take a zip tie from each hole and wrap it around the front of the grill. So I don't like the look of that because I feel like it's going to be very noticeable even if you use a black zip tie. So let me flip the bumper up and I'll show you what my idea was. Now looking in the back of this, there's, I don't know if it's going to focus on it, but if looking on the back, let me get some light. Looking at the back here, there's like this extra little ridge here. So I'm almost thinking of drilling a small hole through this, and then this will, well, it would be over here, over there, and then put a zip tie through the ends of the holes of the light through that and have that hold it in. So I'm gonna try doing that first, drill those holes, because even if it looks like complete shit, I could always just cut the zip ties off and figure out something else. So let me do that quick. Wish me luck. Gotta say, honestly, I don't hate it. Not too bad. The thing left to do is get a third-party opinion on it. Let's get the wife in here. So we got the approval, and we're gonna go along with this. So we just gotta do 2 more. Gotta do that same thing 2 more times. What I did there was actually drill the little pilot hole so the bit didn't walk on me. Get it as centered as possible. Drill that through. Then step it up, and the size we went up to, well, I guess it might differ for you depending what size your zip ties are, but we went up to a 13/64, which is completely random. That's what I had in my little drill set there. After we do that, you also have to drill this guy out. You also have to drill that out. So I sent the same drill bit through that. Then we get zip tie through it. So let me do these other 2. Doing, obviously, that one is all the way on the driver's side. We're gonna do one on the opposite end and then one dead center. I know some people do 4. I'm doing 3. Raptor. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. All done, all on. So now what we got to figure out is wiring. So obviously you want all the reds together, you want all the blacks together. That's gonna get sent that way towards the driver's side of the truck because we're gonna be hooking into the fuse box. Main thing is trying to get these wires nice and neat. So what I'm thinking of trying to do is get the wires to come this way, almost next to or behind the zip tie, then straight down from there, just so you won't see any hanging wires behind these little lights. If you look in the grill, especially the red's gonna stand out. I mean, you could always just tape it, black tape, so you don't see it, but gonna try to get it nice and neat. Gonna use a lot of zip ties to do this, but like I said, we're gonna get it this way, then down, and then probably this whole back thing is covered right here, so we'll probably just like zip tie around things here to get the wires going that way. So gonna do that, and let's try to use a little YouTube magic to do this. All right, so there you go. Closer look in here. I ran out of black wire, so we went with blue, but use these little baby zip ties to zip tie it to the zip tie, because we heard you like zip ties. Drilled another little hole down there just to hide it, so wire is all the way hidden behind everything. Then those are coming out. Let's throw this back on, then we'll deal with the little add a fuse thing and where we're gonna ground it, and then we're done. Simple. Done. All right, just gonna time lapse this because there's a million screws to put back, so let's do this. All right, let's see, moment of truth. Let me pop this back open so we could go over the wiring. Lights are on, looking good. I'm happy how it came out. So right here you have your ground. So for us it was the blue wire, because remember we ran out of black wire, so we went with blue. So basically your black wire goes to a ground. It doesn't have to be this one, but this one is right here. It's very easy. And then you're using your add-a-fuse, your crimp onto that, and that's going into pin number 17. So you take the fuse out that's in it, put it in there, put the extra one that came with it. I mean, it really should be running a 10 and a 10, but not the end of the world. That's in, and then as you saw, it was with ignition. I guess ignition on, with the car on, those turn on. There's other ways you could wire it if you really wanted to. You could even tap into your harness for your headlights if you wanted to. So when your like your amber marker lights go on, those go on. But I like the way it is right now, so that they're always on. Sick. These are all leftovers. They wouldn't fit. All right, so pretty damn easy to do this. It just takes a little bit of time. I'm leaving the skid plate off for now because I believe that has to be off to put the tow hooks back on, and they're still drying. It's very cold out today. But there you go. Looks great. Alright, so as you saw in this quick little how-to install video, it is very simple to do. It just takes a little time. Taking that bumper off is a pain in the ass, I'm not going to lie, because there's so many little screws and everything to take it off. But if you have that little electric 12-volt ratchet thing that I have from Milwaukee, makes your life a whole lot easier. Well, you don't specifically need the Milwaukee one, but if you have something like that, it makes your life a whole lot easier instead of just trying to do it by hand with the ratchet. Then other than that, all it really takes is some butt connectors, some crimpers, and a little extra wire, and that's it. So once again, I'm going to link all the stuff down below, everything you're going to need for this install. If this video helped you out and you install it yourself, tag me on Instagram. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and more content to come. See you later.